This demonstration shows how to use CONVERT for visualization and transformation. Let's assume I have a CAD file that I would like to visualize. I open it as an input model in CONVERT and it shows me in a default tree view. So let's assume I want to create a room structure for each shape. So I drag and drop the room notation and it tries to give me some recommendations. For instance, I know that I want to map shape to room, so I can either select it here or drag and drop shape to that room, like this. Inside this room, I have some selected attributes that I need to map to from my XML input. For instance, geometry goes to geometry, name goes to name, or type goes to type. Let's say I just drag and drop it here. So if I save this customized visual, it will create a transformation rule for me that will transform this element structure here to the notation of the room there. Once I have specified all my notations, I can compose them to create a real complete visualization. For instance, I have created the rest of them here, and it will consist of a building, ground floor, which is basically a representation of each floor, and the rooms that I just created. So I say that okay, each ground floor will be consisted of these rooms, each building will have some floor plans, and the building is a transformation rule to be called first, so it has to be mapped to start. When I generate and run this composition, it will create a transformation for me. Transform, I save it, and then it will ask me for a target name. I give it as a, let's say, building, and I save it. So here we go, we have the visualization, we can interact with the elements of this visualization. So I take this visualization to my mapper. So I have this one as source, building, and let's assume that I want to transform it to some tree structures. So if I want to map each room, for instance kitchen or bedroom, to the structures here, I can just drag and drop them on each other. It again tries to give me some recommendations. So let's say that this room of mine has this geometry, name and type, and this one has name and color. So I know that name goes to name, but type cannot go to color because I know that they are not consistent. So I go to my rule designer. It shows me the default elements for the room. So in this case, the default element for bedroom is a kitchen, which actually doesn't make that much of difference for us. So I drag and drop an if condition here and say, okay, so the things that I need for this transformation are, let's say if it was kitchen, and it is going to be in a string, I need two colors, yellow and green, let's say. So I want to say if type of this room was kitchen, so I drag and drop kitchen on the other argument, show it to me as green, otherwise show it as yellow. So I drag this if condition to that color and I save my rule. So I will have a mapping rule that maps a room to the room structure in that building tree. I will create the other ones, the other transformation rules. For instance, this floor goes to that one, this floor has a name, which also the other one has a name as well, and room. So I save this mapping rule as well, and there is a mapping rule for mapping the whole building structure to the tree structure. We'll have a name that goes to name and floor plans which go to floor plans. It again tries to give me suggestions as well, so which I can select from them. So I save mapping rule. I have the three rules that I wanted, so I go and generate and run mapping. Let's give it a name, transform to, and I name the target as target. So if I open the target as my visualization, you can see that there are two rooms and the kitchen room has been shown by different colors.